Hello everyone, my name is Brian. I'm a technical producer and this is the first video, almost a sort of prototype run in a series of videos I'm experimenting with expanding on in the future regarding covering various systems in regards to release management and production in game development. So this video started off as a result of the most recent Steam Store demo page update. This update right here, which I'm pulling up so that you could see, a new announcement that essentially lets you create Steam demo store pages as standalone entities within the Steam platform front end right here, which you all should know. So there's slightly different functionality and some things to set up, and I guess I'm just going to start talking through it. This video is not really going to be edited. I'm not a video editor. I'm a guy documenting these things as I find them out. So what happens here is, obviously this is assuming you've created your own standalone demo entity for the product, which you have to do. And when you do that, it sort of looks like the standard backend for like a regular product. If you were creating just our, and this is one of our products that we've announced we're working on, so I can showcase this. You would do the same thing if you weren't making a demo. You would create your, make your game, create the app ID in the background, and then set that off and all that jazz. And it's the same thing when you create a demo. Like, the demo is a separate sort of product, and it functions as such, which means it's treated by Steam as a separate sort of entity, even though it's kind of the same. You have to propagate all these fields accordingly when you set it up. So with the standalone page, one of the first questions I had was like, what does that entail? How does it go live? Standard products, when you have to publish them, actually undergo a review period for both the store page and the build themselves, which means you need to plan your release time accordingly. Once you have all the checklist on the right side, which I'm not going to demonstrate here, even though that's all green, typically for a standard product, there is a 2-week wait time period while Steam personnel actually reviews your product to make sure that it's up to standard. So this is approaching it as having done all that already. We've already done all that, so basically we're at the next stage where it's like we're essentially ready to publish. Now the question I had was, well, when you publish the standalone demo page, when does it go live and what does that look like? The documentation is not really clear as to how that works and how it propagates in the Steam platform, and this could cause issues if you're possibly trying to release within a certain time frame or be part of a festival or something like that. You don't want to accidentally set your store page live and then have it get published to live 2 days early because there's not a staging environment to essentially test this functionality. So the question is the first thing you have to do is go to the store page, which they do specify is actually in the documentation, and then enable the standalone. They do go over this. Once you enable that, the question I have is, when does it go live and propagate as a separate entity in the Steam page? Now, when you click on this, one of the first things that you're going to notice is that the Steam checklist sort of comes back, and I'm just going to let this load for a second. The Steam checklist comes back, and there's going to have to be additional steps that you're going to have to go through in order to make this publishable as an entity again. It's essential, again, as I said before, it's the same as a standard product, and you will have to do it again, even if your main product, and this is true for this one right here, already has a Steam store page, and that Steam store page is already live, and even if what was the phrase I was going to say? Even if you've already made this demo live before. Earlier today, this was actually located as app release state was actually deactivated. So we had actually activated this prior and shut it down, just because that's what we did. So even if you've already done this stuff, even if the demo has been is consumed by the public, played by actual people through the standard Steam front end, you will still have to go through the Steam check. You will have to repopulate the store page information properly as if you were first time standing up the page. So, blah, blah, blah. I've enabled the store page. I've filled everything out accordingly, stuff like that. Let's see. If that checklist is not complete, this button actually will be blocked out, and there will be new yellow text here that says, like, hey, you need to do these things. You need to finish your checklist and set everything up. Go through the checklist. You will not get any indications whatsoever that it's ready to go. It's just step through everything, make sure you've got your graphical assets set up correctly, you've got your rating system set up properly. I actually have mine set up here, it's published, etc. And then you have to come back and check the publish page, and you'll see that this button is now clickable now. It will be completely grayed out if Steam has decided you're not ready to publish. So I've clicked on this button, I've completed my checklist items already, I've done everything, clearly I'm ready to publish, right? So again, when it comes to a standard product, I'm going to showcase this right here. There's actually an additional, and if you're familiar with the Steam backend, you could actually look at your Steam store backend, I guess I should say. You can look at your primary product, and if you're familiar with it, you can pull it up right now. You'll notice that there's an entire large UI element here missing that says store review and build review. You'll see mine is missing. Mine has always been missing from this section because we already went through that. Mine has been missing since it passed initial valve review. So again, we've already stepped through some of this process for releasing it, but now we are releasing it as its own standalone store page. I've completed the checklist. Let's view diffs just because. Yep, everything is true. Let's see. Standalone demo page is now true, so we're ready to publish. And then here's the primary product app ID right here, Atomic Picnic. Now, normally, under most circumstances, let's type in demo just to see. Oh man, I don't even know. What is a game that has a demo for it? Demos. Is there a Dota demo? I don't even know. So, geez, I feel like a fool. Yes, just okay. Let me try one more thing. Okay, so this is a good example of that. Oh, this demo is not live. Interesting. So what would normally happen here is you would see the game. Some of you have seen it before. For a game where the demo is enabled, you're redirected to the primary app page, and then below the purchase button there will be another option that'll be like, hey, download the demo here. Yeah, Slime Princess, but everyone appears to have shut off their demos. So that's cool. Love that. Wild. So it will show up as if you could buy. That's probably something I don't want to click on. Yeah, it would essentially be like download demo instead of play game. It'd be a similar thing here. Finishing being derailed. I'm sorry this video is so long, but I'm kind of trying to describe some background. As you can see, like the game is not purchasable, demo is not live. We're still here on the primary page. So let's publish now and see what happens. Hopefully I don't break anything. So sometimes this stuff takes some time. Wow, this is taking, usually doesn't take this long. I guess I would go back to, I'm off. Alright, cool. So now we're published now. Let's go check and make sure, let's see if anything has changed on the primary app. Yep, does not appear on the base game store page. That's some weird thing. Obviously I probably want it to appear on the base game store page, but my primary concern is that. Not that right now. My primary concern is that Atomic Picnic demo propagates properly as a separate store page. That's the end goal and what that looks like in production, which is this. So now, let's see. Alright, cool. So here's my app ID for my demo. You can see now that there is a separate entity right here, and then here's the demo right here. So yeah, as soon as you hit publish, that stuff goes live immediately. So if there's any questions about what the timeline for publishing is, as you know, as standard, the standard products have to have a review window before they can go live, and the game has to show up as coming soon in the app release date for at least 2 weeks before the game can be live. And in order for you to be able to enter that public coming soon release state, you have to pass the store page and the build review. So hopefully that answers any questions. I will try to pay attention to comments coming up, but I didn't really see any documentation on this. The video is 10 minutes long because this is partially a learning session and test run for me as well. So hopefully this answers your questions. And yeah, thanks a lot.